What's good, it's JB, and I've been able to make over 6 figures off of just beats. And today, I'm gonna be showing you how I register all my songs and get paid. So basically, selling beats up front is just one step, and if you don't register your songs properly, then you're actually leaving a lot of money on the table. Royalties come from streams, radio plays, and even background music. And the cool thing about royalties is that you get paid months and even years after a song that you're a part of drops. But the only way that you can make sure you're getting paid everything that you're owed is if you actually have it registered right. So today, I'm gonna be showing you exactly how to do that. The first step is to sign up for a pro like BMI or either ascap. I personally use BMI, and that's what I'm gonna be using in this example today. So the first step would be to make a songwriter and a publishing account. And right now, I'm on the BMI site, and this is basically where you go to sign up. So you would basically just hit join as a songwriter and just fill out all of the information. And one step people might miss sometimes is they might just sign up as a songwriter. So it's important that you actually sign up as a publisher too, not just a songwriter. So that way you can collect your publishing royalties. So after you signed up, this is what the BMI portal looks like. So let's say you just had a new placement drop and you want to register. All you have to do is just go to register new works and hit add new work. Right here, this is my writer's account and publishing. And basically the way it works, whatever your writer account got paid, that's what your publisher account is going to get most of the time. So let's say if you got 10,000 on the writer side, you would get another 10 on the publishing side. And it doesn't really matter which account you select, because after we're done registering, both of them are going to be on there either way. So I'm gonna just select my songwriter account and hit next. So the work title, that's basically whatever the name of the song is. And I'm gonna actually use a real song, for example. So this one song with Youngboy I just had a drop called Demon Seed. So I would just type in the name Demon Seed, and it's music and lyrics only. And you don't really have to put the duration in. Then you hit next. You can just hit no. Is this work a public domain? I hit no on it. Does this work contain any samples? I always hit no. Most of the time, I always hit no on both of these options, but if it did have any samples, then you would put yes. Are there any publishers on this work? Yes. So for this song, it's just 2 producers and 1 artist. So on the producer side, it's me and Shop with Ken, and on the artist side, it's just Youngboy. And since it's just me and Shop with Ken, we just split it down the middle. So my share would be 25% on the publishing side. And if you didn't already know, whatever your publisher percent is, that's what your writer percent is going to be too. So I would just select my writer account, hit composer because I'm a producer, writer share 25%, and then I can just link it right back to jbsaucedup music because that's my publishing account, and then hit next. So if I go to his Genius page, I can see that one song he produced was My Love by YB. And most of the time you can just type in the title of the song, and then under the performer you can put whatever artist it is. So right here I can see that on his BMI page. And if you ever having trouble finding somebody's real name, most of the time you can just go under the Spotify credits or Apple Music credits. So that way you can be able to search what the BMI or ascap info is. So right here I can see it says My Love, and right here I can see his name, and I can see that he's with ascap. So that means that when I'm registering the song, I will copy and paste his name. So I would just put Kendall as the first name and then the last name, Carter. And then I'll just copy and paste his IPI info. Composer, 25. ascap, and then I know his affiliation is ascap because it lets you know right there on the BMI song view. And it looks right here, this is his publisher account. So you can basically just add the publisher account and then copy and paste all the info. Again, 25. And then the same affiliation, ascap. And then sometimes if I'm registering a song and somebody doesn't have a publisher account, or I don't know what it is, I would just replace it with 50 instead. So that way it would be the writer and the publisher shirt. So if you're having trouble finding somebody's publishing account, then you can just get them double what their shirt would normally be. So that way they can still go back and fix it and add their publisher account later on. But in this example, it looks like his publishing account is already there, so we can just put 25 for both. And then you can link it and go ahead and put it with Cash Made Worldwide, his publishing company. And right here, we can see the artist name, and we would just copy and paste it again. So I would just put Contrell as the first name and Garden as the last. And I would just copy and paste the rest of the info. And you would select author for the artist. So for the writer share, 100% GMR, that's what was listed. And most of the time, if it's the artist, then I would just put 100%. So then that way, whatever publisher is collecting for them, they can go back and claim their percent. So let's say if somebody is up under Warner, then you might see later on that Warner is added to your work now, but they're claiming under the artist's behalf. So right there, that would basically be how we get a song registered on BMI. And the way it basically works is it's gonna always be 100 to the artist side and then another 100 to the producer side. It's gonna always be the same regardless, is that it's just gonna be split differently based on how many people is a part of the record. Then we hit next. Are there any artists? Yes. Are there any recordings? Yes. Was this work created for film, TV? No. I normally hit no for that. So for the first name, you would just put the artist's first name right there. Then last name, Garden. Band name, that's where you put the artist name. So it would be Youngboy Never Broke Again. So then I hit next. And then type of recording, single, recording title, Demon Seed, because that was the name of the song that I was using for this example. Release date, I don't normally put the release date. Was this song released by a record label? It doesn't really matter if you put that or not. I just hit next, and this is basically a full summary of everything for this song. So that's basically how I register my songs on BMI. Next up, we got the MLC. So if you're not already signed up with the MLC, you would just Google MLC sign up, click on the first link, and then you could just fill out your information. And most of the time, it shouldn't really take no longer than a couple of days for them to get done with your application. Right after I registered a song on BMI, I also registered on MLC because that's the other half of the royalties that you're supposed to be getting, which is the mechanical royalties. I would just hit register new work, individual, work title, Demon Seed, writer name, Jeremy Bradley, search. And I basically just hit search, and then that way this option right here can pop up where it's going to ask me to create a new work. So I would just hit create new work, then hit next, add writer. And just like we did on BMI, just fill in everybody's information once again. I would just put in my information, Jeremy Bradley, search for a writer. Then you gotta make sure that your information is right. Role, composer, because I'm a producer on the song. And for the search for a writer part, you can look up anybody's name and it's gonna show you their information. But if you just so happen to not see it, then you can just hit create a writer. And we would just fill in the same information that we put in for BMI. So I would put Kendall as the first name and Carter as the last. And then I would put composer because he was another producer on the song. We can just copy and paste the IP out because remember, we use BMI Song View to find the information. So this is IP out, so I would just save it and add it. And they actually put up his MLC writer account, so I can just hit add right there. So now the last writer that we gotta add is YB. So I can just hit search for a writer, Kentrell, Golden, Deshaun, search, and there we go right there. And as you can see, it's the same one from BMI. So I would just hit add writer and I would select author because that's the artist. I would hit next, add publisher. So I would hit my publishing, jbsaucedup, and my half was 25% because it's only 2 producers on it. So I would select 25 on the publishing side. Then I can hit link writer and hit my name. Next, recordings. So the recording title for this is Demon Seed, recording artist name, Youngboy Never Broke Again, ISRC. So the way that we find this right here is I just type in ISRC Finder. So you can just hit the first link and then you can just type in the name of your song. So it would be Youngboy Demon Seed, and there we go right there. And then we would just copy and paste this right here, and there we go. And that way they know the exact song that it is. Then we would hit add recording. And when you can actually do, when it comes to registering the recordings, you can go to YouTube and type in your song name. So I see right here, this is like a fan-made video for the song that I produced. You can register that too. And you can see that this one got 200,000 views. I can still register that and get paid off of it. So I would just copy and paste the title of the video, Demon Seed 2, recording artist name. I could really put NBA Youngboy for this one since that's the way it is on that video, but I would still copy and paste the same ISRC that we had found. And I would just hit add recording. So then this way you can actually get paid off of wherever your songs is getting used. And most of the time MLC actually does this automatically, but you can still just do it yourself just to speed up the process. And then after you got all the recordings that you wanted to add, you can just hit next, then you just hit submit. So then just like that, it's as simple as that. And another huge gem too, so that way you can make sure that you're not missing out on any money, you can go to the matching tool right here, this matching section right here, hit the matching tool. For the recording title, you would just type in whatever the name of your song is that you produce. So I'll just type in Demon Seed, and for the recording artist, I will put Youngboy. And as you can see, I got money that I'm missing out on because I need to match it. I need to actually match it and claim it. So this is basically something that's unclaimed. And then after the work is registered, you will actually be able to match it to whatever your song name is. So after they accept the registration, I'll actually be able to match it to the song. And most of the time, it'll show you how much money that the matches are worth. So right here, it basically tells you the estimated amounts of each match. Most of the time, these be like big videos that your song was reposted. And so if it was like a fan-made video that got hundreds of thousands of views, you can actually just look it up, and most of the time, it'll just show up and you'll be able to find like the name of the video and just claim it under the MLC. So that way, you will actually be getting paid off of the YouTube revenue from the song that they reposted. And the last thing I'm gonna be showing y'all is SoundExchange. This is basically how you register for SoundExchange online. You're not gonna see as much money from SoundExchange as you see from BMI and MLC, but it's basically just something to have. And it's honestly the hardest to submit all of your songs because you have to actually have a signed agreement by the artist for each song. And the way that you would submit songs on SoundExchange is that you would go to letter of direction, hit submit new, then you hit standard LOD, you select your name, whatever the artist name is, and then you just select the LOD form. So example of what that'll look like. So this would be a repertoire sheet, and this is what the SoundExchange LOD looks like. And honestly, when it comes to SoundExchange, the statements from them, it's not really even worth signing up if you ask me. But I register all my songs though just to see. But honestly, the statements from SoundExchange are so small, and it's such a process to really submit all of your songs, it's really not even worth it. But it's honestly just something to have, honestly. But basically, after you have all your songs registered properly, you will be getting paid on them forever. So you will be getting a check from MLC every month, and you will be getting a check from BMI or either ascap every 3 months. And if you got any value from this video, like and subscribe, and stay blessed as always. JB.